Hi again. This lesson we're going to make some lace. You'll need two things, work canvas and a dingbat font. Well, actually three things. You'll need your work canvas, your dingbat font. Dingbat font is a font that instead of putting ABC puts out, dingbats, they're patterns of various things. There's lots of them around. Do a Google search, you'll find plenty of dingbat fonts. Okay, so I'm using JI Kaleidoscope Bats, and we just minimize that. In your background area, have it on white, or so you can recolor it. Just take it slightly off the white, not quite a grey, not quite a cream, but just slightly off the white, which means you will be able to colour it later on. Now I've flood filled my raster layer to save a bit of time so that we can actually see what we're doing. So our text tool, right, and I'm using the letter M, which I put in before because I did one and stuffed it up and had to start again. So my letter M is there, so apply that. Now because my text is a vector, before converting it, go up Objects, Align, Center in Canvas, and you can see it's centered itself right in the middle of the canvas. Then convert to a raster layer. Okay, we now need our MirrorMeister plugin. There, copies, my copies. Okay, we're going to do a line on this one. So line. Now I have it set at 8. If we go 6, you'll see there's big gaps in the middle. Undo that. If we take the copies up to, say, 12, you'll see that they overlap majorly, but you may like that as your lace, and choose to leave it like that. I prefer 8, so we'll set it up and work with 8 on this lesson. Okay, and there's a row of lace. Again, you can leave it like that, or I prefer just a half a lace. So we need our selection tool, rectangle, and because this is centered, you can see it lined right up 300, right in the middle. Draw out a line right across half of it and hit delete, and that will give you your row of lace. Because we haven't done that edge, so I'll just get the my erase tool and clean that up. I'll also take out those little dots in the center. I don't particularly want those, although the next step that we're going to do would probably cover them up anyway. Well, not probably, it would. Okay, we've done that. Our lace needs an edge. If you have a look at most laces, they have an edge where they are attached. So to do an edge, we're going to use our pen tool, and I'm doing it on point to point in my settings up there, and I'm going to change the color up to the top, to the foreground layer, and I'm using a solid line. 4, might make it 3. Line up dead set 300 and draw your line out using your 300. There it is on the ruler. Right, there it is there. Now you can see right at the end here there's a little gap. So just with your pick tool, just stretch it out to make sure it covers the full end, and we can convert that to a raster layer. Okay, now you can see I've got little bits there where the line just doesn't quite cover it. So zoom in. I'm going to use my move tool. I'm just going to move that up a little. No, I'm not going to be able to cover it, so I'll leave my line there. Go back to the lace layer. Make sure you've got the lace layer. And if you don't like the look of it, I mean, you could leave them there, but if you don't like the look of it, just go through a couple little bits of the centers there that haven't quite cleaned up. That didn't quite erase. So go through, erase those. Down the other end, erase, erase, erase. Okay, zoom back out. Now, is that looking like a pretty piece of lace or what? Okay, get your line. You can see that's my line layer there. There's my line. There's my lace layer underneath it. So just merge down your line. Now, with your magic wand, click underneath your lace, click on top of your lace. Selections, invert, add a new layer, and then flood fill that layer with your white or your slightly off-white colour. Okay, this is to give it a backing, and what you do then is drag it down underneath your lace. You can get rid of your selection and go to this white layer that you've just done and lower the opacity till you're happy. I usually find around about 33, 30 is a good opacity to have, and it's given you a bit of a background. If you zoom right into your lace, you can see it's just given it a little bit of a background. If you want to add a little bit more texture to it, you can by just going to texture effects, find a texture that you like. I was doing something else, so intensity, so we'll just find something that you're happy with. If you want to add a bit of texture, if you look closely, you'll be able to see it in the back there. I don't, I just leave it as it is. Then all that you have to do is hide your background. You can crop it if you want to make the file a little bit smaller. So we'll just crop it. Double click, and there's your piece of lace. And then with the background still hidden, because you want it to remain transparent, go File, Save As, wherever you're going to save your lace to. I'll go to my scrapbooking one, base items that I make, lace, give it a name, lace, lace jute, and save it as a PNG file to keep the transparency, and save. If it asks if you want to merge it, click yes. It'll still stay transparent. And there you have it. That's your straight lace. We'll be back soon and we'll actually make a doily. So I hope you've enjoyed that lesson. Let's see some really pretty laces.